Hi there, this is Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits, and in this video I am going to show you how I like to increase in double brioche. Because double brioche is a 4-stitch repeat, we want to increase by 4 stitches. So I am going to show this both English style and Continental. I'm going to start with English style for an increase on this edge, and then I will switch to Continental to increase over on this edge as well. You could also, if you needed a center decrease, you would increase out of both legs, doing the same increase that I'm going to show you. So let's start English style, holding the yarn in our right hand. If you are totally new to double brioche, I will link below to my double brioche just setup video so that you can check out how to work this stitch pattern. So I'm going to begin with my main color, and I'm just going to knit my edge stitch. And then I have these 2 stitches represent a slip to yarn over, so I need to bring my yarn forward and I need to slip these 2 stitches. So to increase by 4 stitches in brioche, we like to do what is called a bark 4-stitch increase, and we are going to do it just in the right leg of this bark 2 in double brioche. So this is going to help me increase out to the right by adding 4 stitches. So as I go to bark, I'm going to bring my yarn over my right hand needle, which creates that yarn over of the original slip to yarn over. And now I have inserted my needle tip into the first leg and the yarn over of this bark 2. So I bark or brioche knit into that stitch once. I don't drop anything off. I bring my working yarn back to the front of my needle tip, and this is going to create a yarn over as I brioche knit right back into the same stitch and yarn over. Okay, so where once I had 1 stitch, I've now added 2 for a total of 3, but I need 4 new stitches. So I'm going to again bring my working yarn to the front of my right needle tip, and I am going to brioche knit into this stitch 1 more time. So where once I had 1 stitch, I've now added 4 for a total of 5. But I still need to brioche knit this other stitch. So I only want to slip my stitch off of here, not my yarn over, not the purple. So I just go ahead and push the stitch off, keeping my yarn over, so I can now brioche knit that stitch as well. So I've only increased out of the right column of this double brioche knit. I am now going to work over to this column so I can show you Continental style how to do this increase. And then I'm going to show you how to resolve those new stitches with our contrast color. So again, I need to yarn forward, slip 2, yarn over, brioche knit 2, 1 and 2. I'm going to switch over to Continental, yarn forward, slip 2, yarn over. Now for this, I want it to lean to the left. I want to add my new stitches to the left of this double brioche column. So I'm going to bark the first stitch just like I always would by working this first slip stitch with its yarn over, dropping off the slip stitch, keeping the yarn over, and now I'm going to bark 4-stitch increase just into this second stitch. So I brioche knit into both my slip stitch and the yarn over. I don't drop anything off the needle. I bring my yarn in front of my right hand needle for a yarn over, and I brioche knit back into the same stitch. And now I need to do that 1 more time. I bring my working yarn in front of the right hand needle and brioche knit back into the same stitch. So where once I had 1 stitch, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've added 4. I can now slip everything off. I bring my yarn to the front for a slip 2 yarn over. I'm just going to knit the edge stitch. So now I need to slide my work back down so I can use my contrast color. Again, I'm going to resolve this first increase right-handed using English style knitting, and then halfway through I'll switch to Continental. And twist my yarn here. There we go. I don't work my edge stitches with my contrast color, so I can go ahead and just slip my edge stitch right out of the way. And I need to start by just doing a brioche purl 2. So I'm going to insert my right hand needle into the first slip stitch and its yarn over, and I'm going to brioche purl them together as one. I'm only going to slip off the slipped stitch. I'm going to keep my yarn over so I can now brioche purl with my second slip stitch. All right, now I have my new stitches thanks to my increase here. So I am going to begin with a slip 2 yarn over. So I want to slip the first 2 stitches that were increased and wrap a yarn over. And then I need to purl 2. So just simple purl 1 and purl 2. And now we're going to leave this original stitch that belongs to this column. We're going to leave it back with its double where it began. So my yarn's already in front, and I'm going to slip 2, yarn over, brioche purl 2, brioche purl 1. Oops, I accidentally took my yarn over with it, so all I do is slip it right back onto my needle tip. So again, I just use my left needle to dip down and pick it right back up. Brioche purl. I'm going to switch over to Continental as we approach my second increase here. So I need to, my yarn's already in front, I need to do a slip 2 yarn over, tighten up my yarn here. And now I need to do a brioche purl 2. So here is 1 and 2. All right, and now I'm to my increase. So I'm going to begin with a slip 2 yarn over, slip 2 yarn over, and then I just purl 2. So I purl 1 and I purl 2. And then with the second 2, I am going to do a slip 2 yarn over. So my yarn's already in front. I slip 2, wrap a yarn over, and then brioche purl 2. So here's the first and the second. Then I'm going to go ahead and drop my contrast yarn to the front and slip my edge stitch. And that's it. That's how I like to increase in double brioche. And so we've now set up these new 4 stitches so that we're staying in pattern with, we have our 2 knits, here's our 2 purls, these will become 2 knits, and then we've added them to the opposite side. So if I was shaping something, we are now adding stitches going like this. And that is how you increase. If you're used to increasing in regular brioche, all it is a bark 4 stitch increase in one leg of our column. And again, if you want a center decrease, you could just do 2 bark 4 stitch increases back to back. I hope you give it a try. Happy knitting.